Hi, Ferris Jean here. So I was feeling a little out of sorts today, and I couldn't figure out why or what I needed to do to get out of this funk. So I did some thinking on it, I did some meditation on it, reflection, and I realized that I needed to connect with nature. And here where I am right now, it's minus 20 Celsius. It's cold and it's snowy. You can probably hear me crunching through the snow. There's what it looks like. And I have to get out. So I'm going to share with you, I've got some things, I'm going to have to read them because I can't remember it all, but I'm going to share some things with you about nature. So for example, the connection between nature and mental health is supported actually by a growing body of scientific evidence that highlights the profound effects of nature on reducing stress, anxiety, symptoms of depression. So, for example, it reduces stress and cortisol levels being with nature. Spending time in nature settings has been shown to reduce levels of that stress hormone, cortisol. And in 2019, there was actually a study published in Frontiers in Psychology that found that spending just 20 to 30 minutes in nature significantly lowered cortisol levels. Now, honestly, it does help to have something green around you. And right now, there's none of that here for me. So what I'm just going to do, even though the trees are sleeping, I'm going to hug one just so that I can connect. Now I'm going through the deep snow here. Should have snowshoes on actually. There's probably, well, it's up to my knees, the snow, when I'm not walking on a path. But here's a tree that I can get nice and close to. Ah, there we go. Ah. Just hold and hug and connect heart to heart with this living, sleeping thing. There we are. Nature promotes the parasympathetic nervous system. That's that rest and digest state. And that reduces psychological stress. Being in nature improves anxiety and depression symptoms. So the evidence is that exposure to green spaces is associated with improved mood and a significant reduction in symptoms of anxiety and depression. A systematic review published in Environmental Research in 2021 analyzed 50 studies and concluded that time spent in natural environments led to measurable improvements in mental well-being, reducing anxiety and depression symptoms. That's why I'm out here in 20 below. No green spaces, but lots of forest. Okay, so nature really does provide an escape from overstimulation and helping to reset mental stress. There's also an improvement in cognitive function and focus as well. So time spent in nature enhances attention span, memory, and cognitive flexibility. So there was a study from the University of Michigan found that walking in nature improved memory and attention scores by 20%. compared to walking in urban areas. So nature really does provide that soft fascination that allows the brain to reset and recover from mental fatigue. And that's the attention restoration theory. Okay. Another thing that it does, it boosts your mood and happiness. So nature has been shown to increase feelings of joy, calmness, and satisfaction. A 2013 study in Global Environmental Change showed that people who spent time in green spaces reported higher happiness levels and overall life satisfaction. Okay, so I'm going to stop for a breather. You know, it's kind of difficult walking in the snow and talking. It takes a lot of effort and energy to do that. So just a little bit of a rest here and a breather. So the visual and sensory experience of nature, the colors, the smells. I don't have a lot of color here right now, but smells, sounds. The smell that I'm getting here is totally fresh air. It's just fresh. And you can tell the difference from city air and country air. There's that different smell to it. And this all contributes to emotional restoration and positive mood. Whew. Nature and forest bathing. Have you heard about forest bathing? It's a Japanese practice of spending time mindfully in the woods, and is scientifically proven to reduce stress and anxiety. In 2010, a study published in, again, Environmental Health and Preventative Medicine found that forest environments significantly reduced heart rate, blood pressure, and cortisol levels compared to urban settings. So here I am in the forest. Not green, but it's forest. They're living things, even though they're sleeping. They're all alive. A little tree for me to rest and connect to. It also increases a social connection, because when you're out in a park, let's say, or engaging in outdoor activities, then you're with other people, aren't you? And that's vital for mental health, being with people. And when you're feeling depressed, sometimes you're pushing people away and isolating yourself. So you really have to work at that. So getting outside, maybe, doesn't matter what it is or where it is, and just connect with other people can be very helpful in reducing that loneliness factor. That is a key factor in depression. So research in Landscape and Urban Planning 2019 found that green spaces facilitate community engagement and reduce feelings of loneliness. It also, being outside in the fresh air especially, enhances sleep quality. I think everybody kind of recognizes that when you're out in an environment like this, it takes energy, and it does help you sleep. And you usually go out in the daytime, right? So you're getting the sunlight, even if it's diffuse like it is for me right now, through the clouds, it's still light, and that can be very helpful. So natural light exposure, especially in the morning, regulates circadian rhythms and improves sleep quality. So poor sleep is a significant contributor to depression and anxiety. And spending time in nature and natural light can alleviate that issue. Nature is therapy, ecotherapy, green prescription, basically. Ecotherapy, or natural-based or nature-based therapy, is increasingly being prescribed as an intervention for mental health. In the UK, the National Health Service promotes green prescriptions, encouraging individuals to spend time in nature to combat depression, stress, and anxiety. Ecotherapy combines structured activities in natural environments such as gardening, walking, or outdoor mindfulness for measurable improvements in mental health. So just think about how, again, this all comes together. All the things that I've talked about already. It reduces stress and cortisol levels, lowers symptoms of anxiety and depression, improves focus, cognitive function, and memory, boosts your mood, happiness, life satisfaction, joy. It enhances sleep quality, and it promotes social interaction and connection. So wow, all that just from being outside. So if you can, and where you are, it might be summer. I have a nephew who's enjoying summer because he lives in New Zealand. So they can be outside a lot. And then you might be in a more temperate climate and have access to green spaces. So get out there and enjoy them. But even if you're living in a place like I am, if you can find something green to connect to, or a living thing, any living thing out in nature that you can connect to, birds, animals, okay, just anything that, and that light, just standing in the light. And like I say, even though it's a little bit on the diffuse side today for me, it fills me up. So that is what I'm prescribing for you, is nature. Until next time, and guess what? The next video that I'm going to do for you is tips on how to get a better night's sleep. I've already talked about some, but I'll add some more. So until next time, Ferris Jean signing off.